Good evening, folks. I'll give it just a minute. Let some other people get online since it's a live feed. Hope everybody's doing well on a Monday night. Wish I was coming to you with some better news, but unfortunately, I'm not. So I'll go ahead and get started. So I'm Matt Durham, Chairman of the Oconee County Council, and we had a budget meeting today at 4 p.m. Have a council meeting tomorrow night at 6. I'm going to the middle school award ceremony, so probably won't be able to do a video tomorrow. But what happened today, the information that came out is something I feel like the public needs to know. So the county council has been passing budgets that's not been worth the paper they're written on. You know, we're in the middle of this audit. We continue to find information. I've wrote about the $2.8 million in unapproved transfer of funds that should have went to county council, didn't. Wrote about that before. But it just gets much worse. The further you dig, the worse it gets. And it's put the county in a pretty bad financial shape. And I'm not happy about it. And I think the citizens ought to be angry about it too, along with the employees of the county. So just to give you an example of the sham budgets we was passing, last year, the county council passed a budget. I'm going to look so I can give you exact numbers. We passed a budget last year of about $63 million, $62,938,000. And what was actually spent was about $71 million. So we passed a budget for $62,938,000. What was actually spent was $71,228,000. Beyond council approval, $10 million. And the numbers that the county council had been given was worthless. It was cookbooks. It's a fake budget. For example, not just budgeted numbers, but year-end actuals. You'll look at actuals from the prior year to know how much you actually spent to build another budget. For example, the law enforcement department, one of the largest departments in the county. Actual numbers from the prior year reported to county council from the prior administration, which would be Amanda Brock, so that the total cost of insurance was $1 million. That was reported as the actuals, when the true actuals was $2 million, double. And that went on across the whole budget, every department. Another way the books was cooked was aviation fuel at the airport. That number of expenditure to buy the fuel, to resell it, was suppressed way lower than the actual number was, which meant that your expenditure was way down here, but they were showing a much higher revenue that you couldn't achieve with that expenditure of fuel based on the fuel price. A way to show a budget that's not true. So county council is passing budgets based on numbers that's made up. The governing body passes a budget that the public elected the governing body to do for the administration and the prior administrator to go blow past it $10 million and do unauthorized budget transfers, expenditures, to just make up numbers to put before the county council. Not only is it not being transparent to the elected body, it's being not transparent to the public. Councilman Mize brought up, do we need to have criminal charges? He brought up bringing in the Department of Justice. I'll say this, if there is not accountability held for this, then I'm just going to go home, spend time with my children, my family, because I'm wasting my time in what we're trying to do if there's no accountability. The people of Oconee County sent us to the council to pass balanced budgets, to budget responsibly, and what we pass isn't worth the paper it's written on because the prior administrator went around the council to do whatever she wanted to do. So went around the will of the public, and it's put this county in a very bad situation. Started off looking at this budget, was about $2 million in the red. We're whittling it down. We're down to about $1 million. Still got $1 million to go. And today I stated, we can look at the budget and you can see department heads in the county. that their hands are on the rope. They're pulling. And they're pulling in the right direction because they held flat budgets. Some maybe even a slight decrease. But there's others who just look like they ignored it. If we don't get this $1 million down, then we're looking at layoffs. We're going to have to cut staff. Now, I'm not going to cut the staff, and I'm going to cut the staff from public safety. But that's what we're looking at. And every taxpayer in this county ought to be just irate about what's happened. Every employee of the county should be irate about what's happened. They didn't ask for this. Most of the people who work in the county government are good people. They're hardworking people. They're neighbors. They're friends. They're family. And they got to work and do what they're supposed to do every day. Their future jeopardized by this is just fraudulent. It's fraudulent. It's fraudulent. And it needs to be held accountable. Now, we're going to do what we can do right now to try to dig out of it. Thank goodness we have an administrator who thinks about we the people, right? Not the bureaucratic state, not whatever this was that's going on. I just want to let you all know what's happened. I told you guys we're going to hold these people accountable. I expect them to be held accountable. It's probably going to get messy as we drag out more of this stuff. But budgets have been passed that wasn't worth the paper they're written on. And you combine the manipulation of the numbers in the budget with the undercollection of millers. Now, Christy Herbert, the county auditor, you can get on him and blast me. She gets mad because I said it was a miscalculation of the millage. There's no other way to call it except for that the county passed budgets. They passed budgets that was going to be on expected revenue, and then millage was levied to cover that budget. And since 2019, it did not collect that millage. It did not collect the revenue that was budgeted. Systemically, year after year, getting worse. These budget things been going on for years. Since the prior administrator took office, this administrator. Maybe she learned it from her predecessor. I don't know. But it's like a house of cards. To me, it's like a Ponzi scheme. You know how you have somebody, they get in this thing, they keep rolling, they don't know how to get out. They just kept building until there's no way but for the house of cards to fall. And we're going to work hard to figure it out. We work hard to protect the taxpayers of this county. But by George, there better be accountability for the ones who are responsible for this. This is where we are. It's not pretty. I hope to goodness the county department heads and Stuart Jones can find more savings, because that's what's got to happen. Listen, we got a finance department in there now that's busting their tail trying to figure this mess out, because they were left with a mess from the prior administration team. We got outside auditors in there trying to figure it out. It's just cookbooks. The numbers we was given, the numbers that I printed, I sent out to you guys, was false, made up, cooked numbers. And that's where we are. Sorry to bring bad news, but always, I believe you can handle bad news. You just need to know what's happening. We're going to find a way to dig out of it. Council meeting tomorrow night. We have third reading of the temporary subdivision moratorium. Third reading, that should go through. Like I said, I'm going to a middle school awards banquet. Probably would not be back on tomorrow night to give you an update for that, but I'll write about it later. But we had this meeting today at 4 p.m. And I just want to let you know where we are. And it's not pretty. If you got any questions, please just reach out to me. If this gets shared, try to come back to the first post to comment, or else I probably won't see it. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you. But there's got to be accountability here. There's got to be accountability. You can't have the bureaucrats, unelected bureaucrats, just running amok, doing budgets that the county council didn't pass, that the governing body didn't pass, that the people of Oconee County didn't pass. That's where we are. That's all for now. Just reach out to me if you got any questions. Thank you.